conditions météo sont plutôt bonnes.
Let's just take you to Lydd Airport in Kent. This plane you're looking at is an electric plane that apparently fly for an hour, reaching speeds of up to 136 miles an hour. And this is a pretty special flight. So, guys, Tom Cheshire is there and can explain all. Tom, tell us what's going on, what we're looking at.
Well, this is the Airbus E-Fan. It's an electric airplane that's going to hop across the channel to Calais and recreate a flight made in 1909 by a French aviator, which was the first heavier-than-air crossing of the channel. Now, it's not actually the first electric airplane to go across the channel. That was done in 1981, the Solar Challenge, a solar power plane. And last night, a rival French pilot did a rather cheeky attempt to steal thunder from this plane. He crossed from the other way, from France to here. But this plane is a production plane. In 2018, it's going to go on sale. It's the first electric production plane, and that's why Airbus think it's an important first on the way to creating a 100-seat commercial airliner in a decade or so time. Oh, I think I've lost you.
No, we've still got you.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't hearing anything.
So tell us who we're looking at here, who the pilot is and what his experience is.
Well, the pilot Didier is also the designer of this plane. So 18 months ago, this plane didn't actually exist. It was a sketch on paper. So they've made it very quickly for an airplane and still trying to meet all the safety standards. But it's less the individual technologies, it's how they're packaged together. So it's called the E-Fan because the propellers are encased in this fan-like design, which means they're very quiet, it saves emissions. That's an innovation Airbus wants to put on bigger planes so that they can cut noises there. It's got 160 kilograms of batteries packed into every wing. And then it's got these electric propulsion systems underneath, which it means it can taxi along under electric power. That's something they want to see in commercial airliners as well. So it's really a test bed for Airbus. Airbus doesn't make small planes generally. They want to do this so that they can take some of these technologies and make hybrid airplanes in the future.
Are we talking about planes which are going to be completely noise-free, or is that completely unobtainable, that kind of goal?
Well, he just started his engines up here, and it certainly wasn't noise-free. It sounded more like a remote-control car going haywire. It's a very electric sound, like a fan on super high power. But it's certainly a lot quieter than the planes that have been coming out of this airport all morning long and will continue to do so. On the other hand, you do need a big engine for long flight. It's only a 60-minute battery, so to be able to do sustained flight, it's going to have to be a hybrid solution. What Airbus, their chief technical officer, was saying earlier was that he wanted to see electric motors on planes for takeoff and landing, and then the jet would kick in and take you those long distance, much like a hybrid electric car works on the road, doing the same sort of thing in the sky.
It's interesting, Tom, isn't it? Because there's obviously lots going on in the technology world as far as planes go. We've got this solar-powered flight going around the world. It's just a few days ago completed its longest journey so far. Will all of these technologies eventually come together, and will these teams work together, or are they very much distinct and separate?
Well, the Solar Impulse is its own project. It's based in Switzerland, and it's a private project with a lot of partners. The people here, Airbus, admire it greatly. There's a lot of mutual satisfaction in what everyone's doing. Solar Impulse has got this huge wingspan. It's as big as an Airbus 320 in terms of how wide it is. So it's not practical for a consumer point, but the technology they've had to develop, especially in terms of the efficiency of the solar panels, they're really hoping that if they prove it's possible with that flight around the world, they had that amazing more than 4-day flight across the Pacific, setting a world record for the longest non-stop flight in history. The hope is that by proving these sorts of things, these amazing feats, you can show people it can be done, and hopefully those technologies will eventually trickle down. And the plane's just taken off, setting out over to Calais. The noises from the helicopters, the plane itself is very quiet in the air, and you can see it just feeling its way in the wind. It's supposed to be very stable with that configuration of the engines on either side of the fuselage. And pilot Didier there just heading out to France. It should take around 45 minutes before he lands in Calais, a speed of around 170 kilometers an hour. And there he is, off on his way. For the first time, they've gone over water. He said he was a bit nervous about it. Up to this point, he's done it over land in an airfield. This time, he's over water. That's why he's got the helicopters following in close pursuit there.